Hey, I'd like to welcome you to another episode of Money Matters Top Tips for Success, where each and every day I bring on new business owners, entrepreneurs, and executives and have them share their top tips for success with you. My name is Adam Torres. You can follow me on Instagram at AskAdamTorres to keep up with my book releases, book tour schedule, signings, all that other good stuff. Always love to connect with you there. And as always, if you'd like to apply to become a co-author of one of my upcoming books, just head on over to the website, moneymatterstoptips.com, and click on Become an Author to apply. All right, so today I have Tibi Zohar on the line, and he is a mentor and coach over at Synergy Advisors. Tibi, welcome to the show.
Hi, thanks for having me. Good to be here.
So I'm excited to get more into what you're doing over at Synergy Advisors and how you're helping your clients. But before we do that, let's get a little bit further into your background. So how did you get started in your career and in business?
Well, I was actually pretty young. I was 19 and a half, and I was in love and wanted to get married, and was still in the Israeli Defense Forces. I grew up in Israel. That was back there. And I decided to make some money so I can get married, and I sold something door to door. I happened to stumble upon a door with a trainer from an insurance company, and he invited me in, listened to me, and said, "You're a very talented young man. Would you like to come and learn about life insurance? You can do very well there." I said, "I don't know about that. I don't know what that is." Ended up in a course in a very fancy hotel funded by them, which was the whole invite appeal, and the rest is history. That was 40 years ago. It was 19 and a half, and I started selling life insurance, and I think I've done well. Within 20 some years in Israel, I pretty much peaked in everything. And then at some point, I won the visa lottery, the American green card lottery, that everybody knows about now. Nobody knew about it like 4 years ago. And so, I've been signaled from above to move to the United States, and I did it in 2001. Started from scratch and landed back in the financial industry. And, with a few twists along the way, I do custom financial planning within the realm of working with CPAs and partnering with CPAs and teaching friends of mine, peers of mine, how to do it. That's the Synergy Advisor thing. And it's actually helping both sides to create and maintain wonderful, smart partnerships that really pay off for everyone.
So Tibi, I love your background, first of all. So I mean, you're definitely through and through financial services guy, and high level to be able to be in the industry that long. So that being said, there's some younger entrepreneurs and or new college grads also listening right now, and they're considering a career in finance or going down that financial advisor / broker realm. What kind of advice would you give to that newbie that's thinking about a career in finance?
So to be consistent to my unique approach is, and it is unique in the sense that I haven't been looking for clients. I kept looking for leverage rather than clients. And so, and the unique thing about it is I'm not looking for referrals. I actually create smart partnerships with huge leverage with CPAs in this case. So once I decided that CPAs are the ones that have the most influence over clients, the most power, and so to speak, then what I do is I help. I find the ones that, and it's not easy. Find the ones that actually qualify to do this, and then partner with them, help them get licensed, and then share revenue 50-50. They just show me where to drill. I've got the drilling company, so to speak, and they've got the oil fields. So I drill on other people's oil fields, so to speak, and I create those partnerships, and that's what I can actually contribute to the newcomers as a way. As a different way of prospecting. So wherever you go, instead of looking for the end client and doing one by one, is actually working on resources where they can come in with a whole slew of clientele, with hundreds of them sometimes at a time, and doing it that way. So that leveraging of other professionals' reputation and influence. That's the unique thing of how I do that's why Synergy Advisors is unique in the sense.
That's awesome. No, and that really high-level advice there for anybody that's just getting started out, or even if you're a veteran in the industry, what Tibi's saying is very relevant there. And I want to go further into. I think it's also a great transition. Let's go further into what you're doing over at Synergy Advisors. So you told us kind of high level. Let's go a little bit deeper. So tell me more about the company, please.
Yeah. So what I do is I vet and interview different CPAs. And what I do is I call it R&R, revenue and relief, in a sense. Imagine you're a CPA and you've been toiling over tax returns for over 20 years, and you feel that you've had enough. I mean, you're the color of your fluorescent by now, and you're over 50. You already realized that you're not going to be selling your practice for $10 million, okay? And so you do want to, make the most of what you already had, and you cultivated this wonderful, book of business for 20 years or 25 years. And when I come in and I say, hey, how about me working another shift in your machines at night, so to speak? In other words, I can actually extract something else here, which the sky is the limit because it's not a fee for service. The way they do it, they're in a vicious cycle. I mean, they just, to do more, to make more, they have to, hire more people to have more clients and to do more tax returns. And it's just a vicious cycle. They never get out of it. I come in, and when I find the ones that want to make money without more work, then I actually complement that by actually, partnering and not start looking at, these high taxable income individuals, clients of theirs. So first and foremost, I serve them in the sense that they all have the cases, and some big cases, that keep paying a lot of taxes. So I had to also specialize in very creative tax mitigating strategies, and I did. So I'm able to save hundreds of thousands of tax money to clients of those CPAs. So they're happy about that. They also get paid 50% of whatever I make on my side. And so it's all in all, and of course the clients are super happy because, they can't wait to write the checks because they're writing it to their own drawer rather than Uncle Sam.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously this is, whoever qualifies. Now, I say whoever qualifies because CPAs are not easy to obtain. So it's a whole art to identify and actually be able to create and maintain those partnerships. It's not easy. It could be one of 50, but that one of 50 may keep you busy for 5 years, 6, 7, sometimes 10 years as a partner. And so that's does that make sense at all?
No, it makes perfect sense. So what type of what's the ideal? So obviously there's a lot of CPAs listening right now. There's a lot of people in the business, big financial podcast. So what's the right type of CPA you like working with? What are the areas that you prefer to work with? Give us a little bit on that end so they know if they should maybe think about following up with you.
Yeah. So here's the ABC of this, because what I've been doing is, on one hand, helping CPAs improve their situation, make more money with less work and so forth. But on the other hand, I've got friends and peers meeting me in different venues, saying, how do you do it? So I actually became a little bit of a coach and mentor. That's the coach thing, to my own peers, how to create these. So here are the 3 types of CPAs. Okay, in general, that is easy to identify. The first one are the ones that are not aware of their power and influence. Those are that's their nature. They just sit there, they compete on price, they work themselves, down to the bone, but they're not really successful in their own practice. That's the number one. The second one, which is most of them, they're afraid of their power and influence. That means they know they have a lot of power and influence, but when it comes to anything but their own tax preparation business, they freeze, they paralyze. The conflict of interest, which is there, by the way, it needs to be managed, paralyzes them. They're so afraid and so compliant related that they can't enjoy doing this, and so they're really not a good source. The third type, which obviously are not the most, but the third type enjoys their power and influence. And they're at the right age, at the right timing in their life, and they know their power, and they go, okay, I've got 5, 6, 7 years now to take advantage of it and actually make another stream and make something more of this ground I've been cultivating. Those are the ones that actually would learn how to manage. Obviously, I need to train them. I need to, because they don't know what to say, how to say, and minimalize and how to. They're not salespeople, so they need to confine to what they do best. But once they're trained, it's an amazing type of connection, of link that actually links the client and both of us. That makes sense? So those three types. Very easy to identify, and whoever listens to the podcast now, if you ever try to talk to CPAs about working together, you could imagine now those three types. You've seen at least two of them. If you haven't met the third, you haven't talked to enough of them. Okay, it's always it's a matter of luck. You may land on the second, and he'll be one of those. Like the one I came to this country, I landed on the second one I spoke to, and I wasn't prepared for it. Says, okay, let's go. I go, excuse me? I wasn't prepared for someone saying, okay, let's do it. I've been thinking about, doing financial services. You're here. Let's do it. I was very lucky. It was back in 2001. I just did my licensing, and I was talking to 5 of them. That was the second that day.
That's awesome. So, Tibi, if somebody wants more information on Synergy Advisors, what's the best way for them to follow up?
Well, number one, I've got a phone number, and it's my cell phone, and it's not a secret. It's not kept a secret, and it's, you have it, 760-443-1401. My name, Tibi Zohar, could be tibizohar@gmail.com. That's an easy email address. They can look me up on LinkedIn, the way you did, by the way, and just, research me a little bit and contact me from LinkedIn, Tibi Zohar. I'm right there. They can Google Tibi Zohar. I'm super populating the first few pages because I've been very active in the community, both the Jewish, Israeli, whatever. So, yeah, I'm kind of have a big mouth, so I'm all over the place.
Awesome. Well, hey, Tibi, really appreciate you coming on the show today and sharing more about your background and all the great work you're doing over at Synergy Advisors. And to the audience, as always, thank you for tuning in. Hope you got a lot of value out of this. If you did, don't forget to subscribe to the podcast, leave me a review on the Apple iTunes store. Do all those great things we do to support our podcasters. I really do appreciate it. And Tibi, thanks again for coming on the show.